as well? Okay. This is just in case, okay? Ya Allah. Bismillah. Oh dear. I left it on. That's why. طيب يا اخواني. Bismillah. I can't hear my voice. Just put it loud from there. Or if it's loudest from here, it's okay. Can you somebody test it before we come? Jazakumullah khair. Bismillah, Bismillah. Just put it a bit louder. Bismillah, Bismillah. Jazakallah khair. Can I just ask the ones who are online to please to mute themselves? طيب اخواني. How long we got, yeah, Dr. Farasad? How long we got, Dr. Farasad? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد. For tonight is the 4th of Rabee Al-Awwal, 1446. And tonight is the night of As-Sabt. And today is the 6th of September 2024, which is the day of Jumu'ah, but we have passed the day. And we are onto a new topic, which is of 2 parts, entitled The Magic. I think I did a good magic to bring everybody, good number here, because the title brings a lot of people. So inshallah we'll start with the topic. We say, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us through this topic, to make sure that the information passes through as smoothly as possible, and also to be a session that would educate you regarding this occult society. As we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created 2 species on which they are incumbent to seek paradise and incumbent to obey Allah Azza wa Jal. And they are the man and the human being, mankind, and jinn. And the topic here of the magic most likely is going to be linked to the occult, which is something hidden, and that is the jinn. So a human being making a relationship with the one which we don't see, and also the jinn, through which this takes place. The magic is being mentioned in number of verses of the Quran, namely when Musa alayhi salam had challenged those people who are the sorcerers, and the sorcerers had to submit to the Almighty when they saw that what Musa alayhi salam has got, which is the snake, the staff that he turned to a snake, that's a real thing. And that's why they submitted to the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have chosen to speak about this topic because it's a very dangerous topic. And actually it had resulted in corruption and also in splitting between husband and wife, and not to say it resulted in people being kuffar and mushrikeen. Sorcerers are many these days. They have social media in their hands. They have channels, they have satellite channels. And they come in the image of a sheikh, which they could recite some verses of the Quran, and they've got some beards as well. They look like us. They're not the jinn who are the one giving the lectures, a human being. So because of this mixing of haqq and batil, we needed to make sure that we are equipped with enough information to tackle the situation. And the person, when he tackles such a situation, he needs to listen to the expertise, the ones who knows about this issue. It's not just something that you read about. No, it is something as well you experience and see those people are involved. So you'll have more information than those who are just, on text. And that is why when such a subject comes like this, you'll find that the interviewer is a scholar, and the one who's being interviewed for this is not even a small student of knowledge. But because he's more experienced in this field, he will be the sheikh, and the sheikh will be the one who is a student, because he's asking somebody who's expert on this topic. Sihr, the magic, is confirmed in the Quran and the Sunnah, and also the consensus of the companions. And we have, as I said, so many ayat regarding the magic, and it's known from the old history. And as for the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, as for the ayah, وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينَ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ, Surah Al-Baqarah. Also, Allah Azza wa Jal, He said, قُلْ هل أنبئكم على من تنزل الشياطين تنزل على كل أفاك أثيم, as in Surah Al-Shu'ara. Prophet ﷺ, he said, اجتنبوا سبع الموبقات, avoid the 7 destroyers. One of them, السحر, magic. طيب, let's just go to the definition of sihr. What is the sihr here? Because the sihr is where the word is mentioned into 4 categories. One, which is something that you can't see it, and that is so the definition of it, sihr means that something which is very delicate, is very minute, you can't see it. That's called sihr. And from the word is sahar. Sahar is the last portion of the night, which is the pre-dawn. From the types of that is, number one is from the sihr, is the sihr al-uyun, we call the magic of the eyes. The eyes contact, and that is, you could see it in the poets of the poets, the poetry of the poets. So you could have the sihr al-uyun. Also, they say, for example, the magic of the nature. So look how magical is the nature. That's as well, that means it's beautiful and captures your eyes. And as for the, also in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Inna min al-bayani la sihr. Verily, speech sometimes, some of it is like magic. It's mesmerizes you. It just captures you, because that person speaks eloquently and you are all ears, because his words are magic. Now, what is the rule of such type? It's actually depending upon the usage of it. So if you are using the words to manipulate the haqq and to make a batil, falsehood, then it's haram. And if you're going to say, for example, the nature is not the magical appearance of it, but it's actually Mother Nature, the creator, that's shirk and kufr, all of it is falsehood. But if you use it in the right manner, That means you are using good words, and the magic of the eyes is between husband and wife. Halal, no problem. But that is, as I said, to do with the part which is more of a linguistic. But when we come now, the magic, straight away it comes to the deception. Comes to your mind, those magicians, the sorcerers they put on the TV. And that is, most of it is based upon deception. Deception is like swift hand, the trick of a camera. You don't know what the camera has done. Also, you find magnetics involved. Maybe also like the magician, the sorcerer at the time of Musa alayhi salam, they did not have real magic. They had like maybe mercury, something that like pipes. They made it to the people look like as snakes. So I'm talking, it's all right because I'm distracted when you talk. Because I'm distracted. So also, Allah He said, تُخَيَّلُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ سِحْرِهِمْ أَنَّهَا تَسْعَى. That people and Musa alayhi salam looking at those things that is on the down, that it looks like it is a snake. But it's not a snake. It's not the real snake. It's not the real magic. The real magic is different. This is, as I said, is to do with a swift hand. So that Allah He said, سَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ. They have put sorcery into the eyes of the people. And this is ghish, deception. And the rule of it is haram because it's got lying, deception, also devouring the money of the people with no haqq. Because the sorcerers, they work in circus, they take the money of the people. So it might lead later on maybe to the kufr, which is the sihr al-haqiqi, the real magic. The real magic is the cooperation of the shaitan, as we said, with the human being. How? Human being has to do something in order that the jinn would serve him. What he should do? He should make a challenging kufr. Not just kufr, a challenging kufr. Something that would only the person who has no deen whatsoever would do such a thing. Even the atheist would not do it. And that is to take the symbol of Islam like the Quran and urinate on top of it. A'udhu billah. And that's when the shaitan, he knows that this person, he left the deen completely. And he is willing to go ahead and cooperate with him, so he will give him his service. So it is like a contract between the human being and this shaitan, this jinn shaitan. So, and it is also can be described as knots, tied knots, and also incantations, and also abracadabra. All of that is within that sort of sihr. What is the rule of it? It's called his kufr akbar, major kufr. The fourth type is that astrology, what we call it, zodiac sign. Some of the people, it's also they could see them carrying a ring in which engraved into it the image of a scorpion. This is, they say that it will benefit you if a scorpion had stung you. And of course, you know that the moon has phases. So the phase of the moon can be as well. The moon can be in the phase, we call it what? The scorpion phase. Burj al-Aqrab. So Allah's Messenger, he said, أخاف على أمتي ثلاثا. I fear upon my ummah three things. قال حيف الآئمة. One of them is that the rulers to be in tyrant and in also oppressors. قال وإيمانا بالنجوم. And to believe in the star. This is astrology. And وتكذيبا بالقدر. And to belie the decree. Those are the three things. Now you see, the science of stars is divided into two. One is haram and one is halal. The haram one, which is, like lead with kufr, which we call it the knowledge of influence. That this person believes that the stars by itself, without the permission of Allah, it creates events. And that's shirk akbar. So for example, those people believe the Big Bang. Big Bang for them is God. The Big Bang is Allah Azza wa Jal. And also that they believe that with Allah there's another creator. Second one, which is also haram, is the one that the zodiac sign. So a person, he would say that if you're born in such and such time, then you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be So you're going to be in a nice way. Or if you are such and such phase of the moon, you will not be able to marry such and such because there will be problems. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said, قُلْ لَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ الْغَيْبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Say to them, nobody knows what is the ghaib in the heavens and earth except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or he believes that these stars are, they are the direct influence and also the direct cause for certain events that takes place, like a flood. Why the flood took place? Because of such and such star. All of those are to be shirk and kufr akbar. As for the second type, which is halal, is the person is using the stars in order to calculate the prayer times, the qibla direction, the last third of the night, or also to use the stars in order to know the direction of the west, north, or the seasons, whether it's summer or winter, and so on and so forth. And that is no problem. And that is, as I said, permissible. The fourth or the last type of this, which is the fifth type, is the combination between the magic, which is the real one, and astrology. And this is in order to make it even stronger. This is even major kufr. This is the Babylonians used to do it in Iraq. So when the sorcerer wants his sorcery to be discovered, he will link it to the stars. Nobody can gonna speak to the stars or go to the stars and find out. So those Babylonians used to worship the 7 planets, and they used to call it the gods. And they made even statues to represent them with their names. And they used to beseech them and call upon them. And they used to as well use the incense and so on and so forth. Allah Azza wa Jalla had sent Ibrahim alayhi salam to them. So the sorcerer, he would use this to say that my magic is to do with the stars in order that his sorcery will not be discovered. Right. Now, after alhamdulillah discussed now what is the types and the sorcery that we are talking about, we say that al-magic, the real one, which is number 4 and number 5, is real. It's not something which is that we imagine it. No, it is real. And the people regarding affirming such magic are of 2 types. One who completely deny it, and that is the Mu'tazila, and those who follows the same as Mu'tazila. And the other ones who had actually confirmed it and affirmed it, but they went too far, an extreme. Somebody's got a headache, must be magic. Somebody got stomach ache, it must be magic. That's not correct. So this is from the shaitan. Yes, the magic is real. These scholars had said, save all of them, save Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. The biggest real sorcerer is the Dajjal. Is a real sorcerer. He would make the land to produce gold. He will have 2 rivers, one from which is nice and white, and the other one full of fire. Let you drink from the one which is full of fire, and let you close your eyes, and let you put your head down and drink from that water which looks like fire. Because this person, Allah's given him the power only can Allah Azza wa Jal have. But yet, he's not capable of doing everything. He is ugly, and he is one-eyed. He's one eye, and the other eye looks ugly. Yet, with this power of his, he cannot fix himself. He cannot, for example, force a surgery doctor to go and please fix my face so nobody could recognize me. Because Allah Azza wa Jal made him like this. Yet people will take him as a god. He will never be able to be having the 5 keys of al-ghaib mentioned in the ayah. He will not be able to give life to the dead except for one person. Okay. As for the Bedouin man whom was facing the Dajjal, he said to him, if I make your father and mother who are already dead to come out, would you believe in me? Okay. So these 2 shaitan came and they took the image of his father and mother. They told this Bedouin man, follow this man, for verily he is your God. So the sorcerers of today, they cannot change things and items into another item. This is only for Allah. Or maybe in Hollywood films, they could do that. So you cannot, for example, change the reality of a mobile to a laptop, or a laptop to a mobile, or a human being to a rat, or a rat to a human being. That's only for Allah Azza wa Jal. What is the difference between magic and a miracle and a karama, blessings? We have to understand that, because some of the brothers who are mashallah from the awliya, they can't come something with something maybe you can't really believe it. It's something which is very good. Is this magic, or is it karama, or is it miracle? First of all, the magic only appears to those people who are corrupt religious wise. It could be with the sayings or the actions. As for the mu'jiz, the miracle, this is only for the angels or the prophets. And it comes by either supplication from a prophet, or Allah gifted it to that prophet or to that angel. As for the karama, something which is highly respected, something which is, you could say, beyond the capability of a normal human being. Somebody who's, for example, been seen eating grapes, and there is no grapes in the country, like had happened to Khubayb radiallahu an, before he was killed. The wife of that person who was a disbeliever, she said, I have seen him eating from grapes, and he was handcuffed, and there was a single grape from the whole of Mecca. How did he get the grape from? This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is you could say a karama. Karama, like Umar al-Khattab, he's on top of the pulpit while he's making his khutbah. He said, Ya Sariyah al-Jabal. Oh Sariyah, this is the commander of an army whom he had sent 2 months before. And he is saying, Sariyah, go to the mountain. It means hide yourself to the mountains. Later on, the army had arrived. Sariyah came to Umar, and he said to him, we had heard your voice in the mountains, and that's so far. There was no Bluetooth at that time. There was no mobile. But Allah Azza wa Jalla made the voice of Umar to travel all the way to the commander, by which he had used those words to save the army from the plot and the ambush of those who are enemies. Subhanallah. So that's the karama. We believe the karama. This karama will not come out to a person who's corrupt, does not pray, and he does not believe in Allah. It does not need actions or sayings. It's actually from Allah's success. He gives it to the righteous people in order to maybe bring more iman into his heart, or also for other people to see that these people are righteous people. If you remember what happened to Jurayj, he had just pointed to the child, and he said, who is your father? And that child spoke in the cradle. He said, my father is that shepherd. And he had saved himself. There was no witness for himself. It's a long story. Cut it short. If he hadn't that child spoken, for his favor, he would have been killed, as he's the person who fornicated. So that's also a karama. Now the believer, I mentioned a number of karamat. You could see as well the karama of those people in the Kahf, Surah Al-Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf, the cave. Those people who Allah Azza made them to live for 309 years. 309 years. So that's a karama as well. The people who are in the ghar were blocked by the stone, and each one had beseeched Allah Azza wa Jal with his good deeds, and Allah removed that rock slowly until it's been moved completely. That's the karama. طيب. I could say lots of karamat. Our Shaykh Al-Albani, I count so many karamat that happened to him, our Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi. And we deem him to be one from the awliya, and we say Allah hasibuh, ولا تزكوا على الله أحدا. The mu'min, the believer, will not be keen to always increase his karama, but actually he will be keen to have istiqamah, not karama, to steadfast to the right path. So the person's success in this dunya, to go to the Jannah, is linked with his actions, not by the supernatural acts that can appear here and there. Because, as I said, supernatural acts may appear in the hands of kuffar, not as a karama, because of the help of the shaitan. Learning the magic as to learn which is religiously wise, in order to distinguish between kufr and others, and to know the sorcery or the sorcerer's tricks, then this is permissible. It could be as well sometimes compulsory in order to expose them to the public. But if you want to learn it in order to treat someone or to remove the magic from someone, then it is haram. It's got kufr. If you want to learn it because you want to put magic onto the people, that's kufr. Allahu Akbar. There was a kid who was in my country about 25 years ago, whom used to fool the people that he used to say that I treat people by the angels. Never mind the jinn. So you just come, whatever your disease is, and then he will say some words, and he will not touch even the person, the deceased, or the ill person, and that person will be cured because the angels came to cure him. They used to call him, his name is Muhammad al-Kadhab, they used to call him, the liar. Even the kids didn't know he's a liar. He made a lot of money. And the people used to come to him, not from the locals, because the locals, he's a liar. The ones from outside the country. They've heard about him. But the people, so one of the sheikhs who had, gone there to ask about him, so where is such and such? He said, you mean the kadhab? The kids say the liar. So everyone was a liar, except for those people who come to him. And alhamdulillah, he's been exposed, but after he made a lot of money. Why? Because people who are ill, they will say in Arabic, they hook even to a haystack to save themselves from drowning. Anything, just to make sure that they are cured. طيب. The person to know that the biggest magic that can be appear is you could see it from the Jews, because they are with the magic from a long time ago. And we call them the professors in the magic. They know about sorcery. That's why you find in Morocco, because they exist there, you have the sorcery there is powerful. And the more powerful the person be in kufr, the more powerful is his magic. So the more kafir he is, the more stronger his magic. The Prophet ﷺ was under the spell of the magic of a Jewish person. This person, he had made magic to the Prophet ﷺ. He's a prophet. في مشط ومشاطة. Some hair and a comb. And the Prophet of Allah had 6 months under the spell. 6 months. 6 months until Jibreel and Mikael came down with the 2 surah, قُلْ أَعُوذُ رَبِّ الْفَلَقِ and قُلْ أَعُوذُ رَبِّ النَّاسِ, in order to dismantle the magic which was a spell onto the Prophet ﷺ by a person called Rabee. This person, he put the spell. And not only that, the magic did not remove until the angel spoke loud enough to say where the magic is, so that the companions go and dig it. And it was in a well. And it was mentioned where the well is and what is the name of that well. So the companions went there and took the magic. As soon as the magic being removed, Prophet ﷺ was not under the spell. And by the way, the spell did not affect any revelation. What was the spell to the Prophet? That he thought he was intercoursing, making marital relationship with his wife during the day, and he's not doing so. So he's not making an intercourse with his wife, and actually he's not doing that. It's nothing to do with revelation or Quran. The revelation of Quran was preserved. طيب. So the magic we have is all of it black. There's no such thing called white magic or black magic. And the magic is haram. أسباب السحر. Why people resort to magic? Either it is envy or hatred. He hates a person, or he wants to be a partner in his wealth, or for a husband, he wants his wife to, for example, to bring a child, or for the wife not to make the husband to marry another wife, or the mother-in-law, she wants to split between the wife and her son, husband, and so on and so forth. The women are the most of the customers of the sorcerers. We say this not to condemn the women, but the women, they are always, we could see, when you go look, for example, on the satellite channels, the ones who calls are always women. 99%, 90% are women, very few men. The reason behind this is that because they are easily can be deceived. Those men are very good in deceiving these people. So they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable because those people can, say words that make them think they will do what they want. The Sahir, we call him the center call for kufr. We call a call to Islam center in Luton, that's for prayer. Call center for kufr are the sorcerers. Wal-iyadhu billah. So they are call centers for kufr. How does the sorcerer exploit and blackmail the naivety of his customer? Okay. First, the sorcerer will know about the affair and the surrounding of that customer of his. So he would make a homework to know the surrounding, his family, if he's got some affairs and problems. And he knows that not by Google, no, a different Google. This is called Al-Qarin. Because he is now in contact with the shayateen to do with me. Remember, we made a challenging kufr, so that the jinn now is at his command, at his service. So because of that, that shaitan who's in contact with him will connect with your qarin. Qarin is your partner. He's always with you. And he knows about you what you know about yourself outwardly. But what goes inside you, nobody knows about it except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody knows. And that is why one of the shuyukhs, he said, when I went to a sorcerer whom the brothers told me to go and encounter him and to see what he's doing. So this sorcerer, he said, I know what is inside. The sheikh said to him, nobody knows what inside me except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, no, I could call by the greatest name of Allah, and if I do so, then I will be able to know what is inside. He said, so what is that greatest name of Allah? He said, I can't tell you, the sorcerer is saying. Because if I tell you, you might use it to go and get the secrets of the people from inside them. So, well, if nobody knows it except for you, how can we call Allah by something we don't know? If you only know it yourself, how can we not call Allah by... So he said, okay, I'll tell you, but you have to have your word. You're not going to tell anybody else. Okay, he said, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody else. He said, the greatest name of Allah is Muhammad. So if you say, Ya Muhammad, then he will know what is the inside. So the Shaykh told him, this is shirk akbar and kufr. You're calling upon the Prophet ﷺ. And no way you will be able to know the inside of anyone, even the qareen, even the two angels whom Allah had assigned on your right and your left to write your deeds. They don't know what inside the person. You only know it if it comes onto your tongue or to your limbs. The outside. The inside, nobody knows. No one knows except for the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala. يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورِ. He knows what the خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ, the a'yun, what it does, and also what the chest conceals. Only Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب. Second issue, so the connection will be between his jinn, shaitan, and your qareen. And qareen will tell the sorcerer, will tell first of all the shaitan what this person does and what is, everything, about him. And that report will be handed over to that sorcerer. He will know about you straight away. If you come, for example, he'll tell you your name. He will tell you your secrets that you do on your own. Nobody knows. Only between four walls. Nobody can see you except for Allah. But because you did it outwardly, shaitan saw you. The qareen saw you what you're doing. And it's being written either for you or against you. Wallahi, I had a person who was not a sorcerer, but he was a student. And I was only 17 years old. 16 years old, sorry. 15 years old. 15 years old. 15 or 16, between them. Wallahi, we came out from the class. And we were going home. And this boy, he's known that he is like the boy of the sorcerer. He works with a sorcerer. He came to me, and I remember. He told me something that nobody knows except for me and myself and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. He said, you've done such and such and such and such phrase. I had to deny it. But actually it was true. How did you know? And I was a kid. I couldn't really figure out. Okay, I asked my mother. Anybody is spooking on me or something? How? Subhanallah. So he's working with the sorcerer. The sorcerer works with the shaitan. Shaitan got contact with my qareen. Everybody's got a qareen. Prophet of Allah Muhammad has got a qareen. But his qareen is different. His qareen, either the Prophet of Allah is safe from him, cannot tamper with him, or his qareen is a Muslim. Because Allah Azza wa Jall's messenger, so Allah's messenger, he said, "A'anani Allahu alayhi." Allah had gave me help against my qareen. فَهُوَ أَسْلَمْ. Either Aslam means, that is, he embraced Islam, or Aslam, that means I'm safe from him. He cannot harm me. Okay? So everybody's got the qareen. Now, when this person is in front of this sorcerer, and he is he's a predator, and in front of him is a prey. He's gonna eat him. How? So when he's making him to think that he believes in the ghaib, that he knows the ghaib, the sorcerer knows everything about the ghaib. He told him his name, he told him about his ancestors, about secret things, that he only does this. Okay, straight away this person will believe him. Because how come he knows? He will be now as a ring in the hand of the sorcerer. So this person will slowly pull the carpet of Islam from underneath him. Slowly to make him believe in the kufr and the shirk. So he will become as a ring. And you'll take his money. And he will command him to do things only the kafir does. Now, the ones who all the time are customers for the sorcerers, they will never get a full remedy. They're always in disease. I know one of them. He was a rich person. He spent his money to have ruqya upon himself, but where? With the sorcerers. He went to the sorcerers, all his money's gone, and now his person has lost his brain. I know him. I know this person. I needs to be okay, slowly. I told him, keep away. No. He lost his brain completely. He is not that person though. I know. The shayateen had messed up his brain because he believed him. He believed the sorcerers. Right? I have some stories here. I want to narrate maybe one of them, which is I know for a fact that how the sorcerer did. This is a real story which I have documented myself with my grandmother, may Allah have mercy upon her, whom she had died. My grandmother, she told me, and I confirmed the story with this person, that she had a daughter, she's my aunt, the sister of my father, and she's alive, and she still narrates the story. There was an uncle of mine who is from my mother's side, Mamu, you call him in Pakistani, the brother of my mother. He was after the aunt of mine from my father's side. He wants to marry her, but she doesn't want him. So he went to the sorcerer, and he's known, this person who died, may Allah have mercy upon him. He was known at that time to go to the sorcerers. So he made something with him, I don't know what it is, a recipe, and he put it in the teapot in order for my auntie to drink it, so she would be in love with him, and he would accept him. My grandma is the one ended up drinking that tea. When she drank that tea, she started calling onto his name. His name is Muhammad, by the way. Muhammad. What's wrong with me? Why am I calling him Muhammad? So he's calling Muhammad, the name of that person. It's meant to be for that daughter of hers, not to the grandma, the older woman. Until his magic and sorcery has been exposed. Because they pinned him, the uncles, and told him, what is it? What have you done to our mother? Well, why she's calling onto your name day and night? She's dreaming about you. And he was saying that he had went to sorcerer and they put something into the tea. Subhanallah. That how the sorcery messes up the brain of a person. That's one of the 3-4 stories because of the time. I need to move on to the following. What are the points that you had to look for in order to say that he is a sorcerer? That's a very important topic. What is the sorcerer? How can I know he's a sorcerer? Because he looks like a sheikh with a beard and everything. Number one, they don't come to the jama'ah. He might pray with you, but he don't come to the jama'ah. And if he came to the jama'ah because people look at him, he has to miss one prayer, at least. Minimum. Because the shayateen will tell him to deceive other people. Yeah, pray 4 prayers. But the 5th one, he can't pray it. To be all the time, najis. He might pretend that he's reading Quran, but he's not actually reading the Quran. He is known as well to read, the cup readers? Cup readers, yeah? They call him Qari ul-Finjan. Read the cup. Somebody drinks coffee, and then whatever is inside, he looks inside it, and he says, yeah, you're going to... So that's a sign that he's a sorcerer. He will have darkness. As soon as you see him, A'udhu billah. If I showed you sorcerers here, you look at their faces, they're terrified. Even with a beard, but there's something wrong about them. They are just, something wrong. Unless you're something wrong with you, then you can't notice that. But the person who's a believer, he will spot them straight away. Also, that's a very important thing. He will ask about your mother's name. He will ask your name or the person, and he will ask the mother's name. Once he asks your name and the name of the person you want magic on him, the name on his mother, he will tell it to the sorcerer, to the shaitan of his, and the shaitan will go into the qareen, search. So the data search is according to the mother's name. They will ask for something from the person you want to make magic onto him, the person who's sick. Something, give me his hair, some of his clothes, anything, even his sweat, if you have anything, his shoe, his shirt. Remember Prophet ﷺ, his hair, his comb, anything from him, a trace. They will ask, as well from the indication that he's a sorcerer, something maybe strange. He will say to you, for example, bring me a mouse, a rat, but not a normal mouse. It has to be orphan. How can you find out an orphan mouse? You have to search if his father has died before or mother has died. Orphan rat. They call it orphan rat. He will ask you maybe to slaughter a rooster. They call it the cook? Cockerel. Yes, the cockerel. Yeah, he might ask you to slaughter a hen, which is a rooster. The one makes the sound in the morning, just like the adhan. This rooster or this cockerel, he does the sound when he sees what in the morning? An angel. The donkey, during the night, when he does the sound, he sees like what? Shaitan. So when you hear the donkey during the night makes in this braying of his donkey, seek refuge in Allah from the shaitan. When this cockerel makes this noise at late night, okay, up to the Fajr, that means angels are present. Subhanallah, it just reminded me just here something had happened, that we invited our Sheikh Al-Albani to our city, and he was on top of the roof of our uncle. Our roofs are flat, by the way, and can take about 200-300 people. And there were lots of people there on top of the roof. And the Sheikh stayed from after Isha until midnight. Lecture and question. Rahmatullah. Everybody was there. Now, the recorders were there. I never paid attention, ever. But when I put the recorder to someone, he's a sheikh, by the way, and he's the first time to hear it, he said, listen. I said, what? Can you see the cockerels at the background? They're going crazy. Subhanallah. Because these angels, they come to the majalis of dhikr. They're kind crazy. So many of them. And if you don't believe me, go to because I know the number of the cassette, 660, 661, 662. That's from the series of the Sheikh Al-Albani. That's on top of the house of my uncle. They're gone crazy. So he will ask you, the sorcerer, to kill that one, because he is the one he will indicate as an angel. Also, he will maybe ask you, to kill a black animal at the start or the appearance of a certain star, and then take this animal and throw it in a deserted well in order to satisfy the shaitan. It's just like a qurban. You slaughter a sheep. This is like slaughtering an animal, black, and throw it in the deserted well so that the shayateen will be happy. Subhanallah. From there, also indication that he is a sorcerer. He will use incense, burning incense. So this is according to what he's going to do. If it is going to be bringing love between husband and wife, he will bring nice incense. If he wants to separate between husband and wife, then he will bad smelling incense. Subhanallah. He uses the right one. He will command you to do a sin. That's a sorcerer as well. That's another sign. Either to slaughter to other than Allah, or maybe to abstain from eating meat like the Christians, fasting from the meat, or maybe to hang amulets, talismans, charms. Also from the signs that he would write his wordings of the sign of the magic. He might write verses, but he will write some numbers with it, or symbols they don't understand. Those numbers or the symbols, they are calling onto shayateen. But because they don't want to expose themselves, they use those signs and symbols, and especially numbers. So they got like a square and got it numbers, 33, 45, 46. But you don't understand, but those numbers represent letters. They're calling upon shayateen. Also, he is definitely a sorcerer if he's using the blood of the menses. This is the most, you could say, a'udhu billah, filth and impure substance. This is most horrible magic can be done with. And that is the menses, blood. And they use also, if he is using only a red pen, specific red pen, then he's a sorcerer. I was a bookshop keeper, and I was living in a place not far away from a sorcerer. But that sorcerer is not really, known to me yet. But he's known to the people outside the country. They come to him from different countries around the world. And there, he is so rich. Now, he died, and his sons are really rich because of the money they inherited from their father. This person came to me and asked me to buy him 4 or 5 boxes. Each contains a ball pen. It's a red one, and it has to be that specific type. And he gave me one. See, I want that specific type. I mean, normally it is the case, customer, they can't buy 1 pen, I'll be so happy I'm making money out of that. But somebody wants to have 150 pens, I could make money out of this. So I said, inshallah, I will get you this one. I will go to the capital city and I will get that one. And when I went, and Allah Azza wa Jal, subhanallah, planned, and he's the best planner, for me to go to someone, he's a wholesaler, but he's, mashallah, very good person, religious. His name is Muhammad as well. So I said, I want Muhammad, bring me about 5 or 6 boxes from this. This person wants about 3 boxes from me, 150 pens. He said, Sheikh, what do you want with this sorcerer's pen? I said, what? He said, this pen is only for sorcerers. They use it, and it's 07, even the number 7 in it. 07, I remember. I said, A'udhu billah. I went back and I made my research, and he was a sorcerer. I didn't know that. So he came to me and asked me. I said to him, his name is Abdul Qadir, Abu Ahmad. Why, Abu Muhammad, why do you want to have this? This is only used by sorcerers. How come? So he pretended, oh, no, this is like a normal, I like the writing of it. But he knows. This is for a sorcerer. This person used to cure people, as he says and claims, yet he brings his son, please, can you make ruqya on him? Wallah. He brought his son a number of times, please, can you make ruqya on him? You make a ruqya for other people outside the borders of Jordan, and you can't cure your own son, because you know you're a liar. You know that you're a sorcerer. So this is one of the signs. Also from the signs, he will make knots and blow into it. And he might say words that you don't hear them. Those words actually calling to shayateen, because they don't want you to hear them. From also, he's a sorcerer definitely, that if he's a ring, and that ring is like, they call it the ring, according to them, it's the ring of Sulaiman alayhi salam, as the ring of Sulaiman. Because they believe Sulaiman alayhi salam, who had the jinn working for him, is because of the power of the ring of his, which is not true. Allah made the jinn to be under the command of Sulaiman because Allah made it so through the dua of Sulaiman. رب اغفر لي وهب لي ملكا لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي إنك أنت الوهاب. O Lord, forgive for me and give me a dominion that cannot be given to anybody, even to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's only to him, Sulaiman alayhi salam. لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي. Allah gave it to him, control of the jinn. That's why the shaitan, when he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he wanted to block him from the prayer, Prophet sallallahu did like this in the prayer. Companions noticed it. What is this? Like holding him. After he finished the prayer, he said, the shaitan came to throw a ball of fire into my face, and I got him. And I was gonna tie him up to the pillar of the masjid so that the Medina boys and kids start kicking him, But I remember the supplication of my brother Sulaiman. Only for Sulaiman alayhi salam. He was gonna tie him up so that the kids would come kick him out, slap him, but because he remembered that supplication is only for Sulaiman alayhi salam. So those sorcerers, they think that Sulaiman is to control the jinn by what? By the ring. But it wasn't. It's by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm looking at the time so I could give you time for questions and answers. We have got section 2 as well. We haven't really gone to as well deeper into this topic. They could put the magic into a lizard. You know that lizard, which is I shouldn't call it lizard. What's the one that used to throw the fire onto the Sulaiman? The small one. Gecko. It's called gecko. The gecko. That gecko. He might ask you to bring you the gecko, or he will put whatever magic he wants into a gecko inside it. He will stuff it inside it, because the gecko is the one who threw the fire, used to blow the fire onto whom? Ibrahim alayhi salam. That's why we are encouraged to kill that gecko. From the first, if you've killed it from the first time, 100 hasana. Second time, 99. And very hard to kill them, by the way. You have to get them where? On the head. You know them in Pakistan. There are lots of them. So if you get them in the middle, still moving, isn't it? You have to get them in the head to kill them. From the first time, 100 hasana. By the way, I'm not telling the kids to go and still look for them and let's get 100 hasana. That's if they come to your house, if they come to your place and attack you. But not to go and look for, search for them, and we come now gecko busters here. Also, a sign from this is that, the hoopoe? Hoopoe is the bird that brought the news to Sulaiman alayhi salam. Al-Hudhud. So he will ask you, or he himself suffocate a hoopoe. Why? Because it was bringing Sulaiman the news, and he was muwahhid, monotheistic. And he said to him, I'm going to tell you the news of these people who worship other than Allah Azza wa Jal. And also the Prophet ﷺ, he forbade us from killing 4 animals. One of them is the hoopoe. One of them is the bee, nahla. We're not allowed to kill them. And also the final sign, which is for the person who's a sorcerer, is that he believes that he knows the ghaib. He will tell you about the future. Nobody knows about the ghaib. He knows about the past. Yes, from the qareen, but not about the ghaib. By which, alhamdulillah, come to the end of our topic. This is number 1. So we're going to be in number 2 talking about the following. What are the symptoms that comes upon the person who's under the magic? And also, we're going to talk about how do we protect ourselves from the magic. And also, we're going to talk about how to remove the magic. And we're going to be talking about also the punishment of the sorcerer. All of that in our second part, inshallah. If you have any question, not through the parts I'm going to be discussing following week, please, on whatever we have discussed so far. Jazakum Allahu khairan wa ahsan Allahu ilaykum. Fadal. One question at a time, please. What is the purpose of the qareen? The purpose of the qareen is to fulfill the shaitan oath when he had said, لَأُغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. He's going to misguide all of us. So this qareen is actually to fulfill the shaitan promise. When he said to Adam while he's rotating around him, he said, verily, if I have power over you, I'm going to destroy you. And if you have a power over me, I'm going to mislead you. I'm going to disobey you. So this is the Qareen is a kafir. And his purpose is to collect information upon you, from you, and to whisper. You know, whispering? That's from the Qareen as well. So the Qareen is there. Every person has got a Qareen. So the purpose of this is to fulfill the shaitan's promise. If you are a person who is making his adhkar, protecting himself with the ad'iyah, the Qareen will have no way to penetrate. Secure yourself. So Qareen also might remind you, behave. Because you're not just seen by Allah Azza wa Jal. You're seen by an enemy, and the enemy is going to take advantage of you. Now, Wallahu a'lam. If you have no question, I'll go to the second question. Fadal ya. If somebody claiming is an angel inside him, telling him things of the unseen, how do you view this person? Well, first of all, we advise him to see a psychiatrist. There's something wrong with him, definitely, because maybe he's hallucinating. Definitely. There's nobody can have an angel speaking to him. Angels, yarhamukallah. Angels, they don't speak to you. They're not allowed to speak to you. Angels, they protect you. But to have communication with you, no. Yes, the angels, which had happened and went down onto the person who had shook his hand, the Prophet ﷺ told us about. But I can't claim now, by the way, I met yesterday, an angel, he said to me, Allah loves me. And I can't say that because nobody can verify. The angels, they will not do something which displeases Allah Azza wa Jal. يَفْعَلُونَ مَا يُؤْمَرُونَ. They will do what they've been commanded. So if a person claims that he sees an angel, we say to him, are you better than the companions? Radiallahu anhum. You're not. So how come the companions do not communicate with the angels? Yes, you might find the impact of an angel, like something that is giving you barakah, is helping you. Like Usayd radiallahu anhu, Ibn Hudayr. Usayd, one night, he was having his child, name is Yahya, and he was outside and reciting Quran. And there was a horse. And he was reciting, and then a cloud was got light into it, got closer. And the horse started jumping. He was scared about his son, so he stopped. When the horse calmed, he started to recite again. And that sort of cloud contains light got a bit closer. And the horse started jolting here and there. So he was scared, this horse is going to step on his son, the baby. So he stopped. Third time, this happened, and then he stopped completely. So he went to the Prophet and he told him. So he said, Messenger of Allah, this is what happened to me. I started to recite, and the cloud light came and just closer, and the horse started moving, and I was scared of my son, so I stopped. So the Prophet said, Iqra, ya ibn Hudayr, recite. Yes, Messenger, I did the recite. Second time, he got closer, same thing happened, and I stopped. Iqra, ya ibn Hudayr. It's like the Prophet, you should have recited. He said, yes, Messenger, I recited the third time. He got closer so much. Then I was scared of my son. I stopped. He said to him, Ya Usayd, Ya ibn Hudayr, if you continued to recite, the angels will come and shake your hands. These are angels whom the Prophet confirmed. They came to listen to the Quran of Usayd, radiallahu anhu. But who can confirm this? Only the Prophet ﷺ, nobody else. If you went to Abu Bakr, he will not be able to interpret that. So they could see the effect of the angels, yes. So this person, we say to him, do you want to be pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes? Okay. Then follow the Quran and the Sunnah. Don't follow what you feel, angel, and so on and so forth. He's closer. Fadl. if the person is possessed, jinn is possessing him, full possession, does the jinn knows what he's thinking about? No, he will not know what he thinks about unless he brings it out. But the jinn can speak himself. You think that you're speaking to the person, but actually you're speaking to the jinn who possessed him. Okay, so you might think that you think you're talking to the person, but that person is switched off now, and the one who's speaking on his behalf is the jinn. So he might tell you that this is what I believe and I feel, but it's not actually what the human being himself he believes. No, even if it's inside, this is something to do with the heart. No one can know what is in the heart except for the Almighty Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Tfaddal.
Does the magician also speak to the shayateen who listen in to the news in the heavens, or has that stopped now?
Right. So you're talking about knowing about the incidents that will take place into the future. That's nothing to do with. This is to actually capture the mind of his customer. See, I know that there will be flood in Pakistan in such and such time. Once that flood takes place, you look, and everybody, his customer will start believing. Yes, there is a communication, and it took place at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and while the revelation took place, it stopped. But what we believe is after the revelation had completed, and the Quran is complete, they still steal from the heaven. What happens here? This is to do with the future, ikhwani. Nothing to do with the past. That this shayateen, they have the ability of going on top of each other. By the way, the shayateen, they're like us. Some of them are going to the water, some of them they fly, some like birds, some, but they are having the ability to climb on top of each other to reach as high as the heaven, the worldly heaven. And the worldly heaven is the bottom heaven. We have 7 heavens, and then we have the arsh. So when Allah commands and give the decree, the angels who are around, which are the holding the throne, they will make tasbih of Allah Azza wa Jal. And this tasbih will carry all the angels up to the one which is the below. Then the angels who are at the bottom will ask the one on top, what did our Lord say? They will say, we don't know. We'll ask the one on the top until they will ask the angels of the throne. So when the angel of the throne, holding the throne, they will say, Allah commands such and such. This will be carried down to the nearest heaven. There in the nearest heaven, the shayateen are sitting there. مَقَاعِدَ لِلسَّمْعِ. As Allah said in the Quran, we got sitting, chairs, listening to what is taking place. So any news like this, decree, ghaib, we'll take it. Straight away, we will try to pass it to the one below us, so it goes down. Now this one who is at the top listening, he is guaranteed to be killed. We call it the suicider. Killed. But he might manage to pass the news before he's killed. Look how dedicated they are to their magic. So he might manage to get it to the one below before, or he will get it before he passes it through. But if he passed it down, he will go down, 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 all the way to the one at the bottom. The one at the bottom, he will come and put it into the ear of the sorcerer, the one who made the contract with him. Crick, like the chicken. Crick. Such and such is going to take place. Buy this, such and such, and he will add to it on this 100 lies. The sorcerer will add what? Many lies. It could be the sorcerer, or it could be the shaitan also, the one who gave him this news, adding many lies. It could be this, or it could be that. So the people, because of one correct information, will believe all these lies. So this is actually to capture the heart and the mind of the customer when he gives him this information. You see, I know the ghaib, but he doesn't. And I'll give you a straightaway story for this. One sheikh still alive, he said that my neighbor came to me. He said, Sheikh, come with me. He's well-known sheikh. Student of knowledge. Student of Sheikh Al-Albani. Come with me. I want to say to my, this sorcerer came to us and he knows. So he went to him. As soon as he came in, he said to him, welcome. His name Abu Yusur. Abu Yusur, welcome Abu Yusur. See, Sheikh, you know, your name is already. Sheikh is prepared for him. So he said to him, I said, okay, I'm going to ask you, because you said that you know everything. He said, yeah, I know everything. I know what you have in your pocket. He's already counted some money in his pocket, maybe 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. He counted money, and he said, I know. He said to him, how much? He said to him, 40 pounds. So the sheikh counted. Yes, it is actually 40 pounds. How do you know? Because the sheikh knows, Qareen knows, he will know. Then he put some money into his pocket. He doesn't know how much it is. He took some of it, he doesn't know how much it is. He said, how much is in my hand? He gave a guess, but he was wrong. You see? He was afraid he's going to be correct, but he was wrong. So he told the person who brought him, look, once I knew how much in my pocket, he knew. But if I knew, and I said it, and he saw me counting, Qareen will know. But when I don't know myself, Qareen will not know. I just took it like this and failed. He couldn't really know the number. They don't know. So these shayateen, those sorcerers, don't worry about them. They are very weak. Wallahi, if you start reciting Ayatul Kursi, they will be scared of you. One of my friends who is as well a student of knowledge said, I went to Amman and I met this sorcerer. And I knew there's a sorcerer. I started reading Ayatul Kursi. So the sorcerer told him, you're reading something, you're blocking me from you. You're blocking me from you. He's making a barrier between him and you. Subhanallah. Ayatul Kursi. Ayatul Kursi is powerful. The power of it is known, unfortunately, by the shaitan more than the human being these days. Shaitan is the one who told Abu Hurairah, shall I tell you something? If you do it, shaitan will not approach you in the night. So what is it? He said, Ayatul Kursi. So the shaitan knows about it. Yet, Abu Hurairah did not recite Ayatul Kursi until he had verification from the Prophet ﷺ. Yes. Once you recite Ayatul Kursi, he will not approach you. أعظم آية في القرآن. طيب. إخواني, do you have any questions? سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Inshallah, we'll meet you بإذن الله next week for second part. Is that okay, Dr. Farasad? Because I don't want to hold him for him to say to me it's too much. And for the online, we